Hello and welcome back to Universal Class. In this lesson, we're going to go over printing worksheets and workbooks, headers and footers. Headers appear at the top of a worksheet. Footers appear at the bottom. Both can contain page numbers, and headers often contain the title of the worksheet and perhaps the date. To insert a header or footer, go to the Insert tab and choose Header and Footer. So we have this spreadsheet up here called Monthly Expenses, and we're going to go to the Insert tab, and we're going to go to Text Group here, and we're going to select the Header and Footer option. And here we can add our header, and this will be Monthly Expenses. And so we've entered our header, and we can, right now we're in Page Layout View, and we can go back to Normal View. And in Normal View, we will not see the header, but we will see it in Page Layout View, which kind of gives us an idea of what we'll see when we likely print the page. When you add headers and footers, as you see here, Excel takes you to the Page Layout View. Also, when you add a header, the header and footer tools appear in the ribbon. When we're here editing, we can click here to go to the footer, and we could just add a footer, any footer we want. Now, if you look here, we have, this would be to the left, this box is to the left, this box is centered, and this is to the right. And so what we could do is here we could insert the page number, which is going to give us this symbol here, but we could say that would give us this page number, and we could say of, and then we could say number of pages. So the way that would display is this would be one of one page. Here we could add the current date. We could add some pictures if we want. The sheet name might be useful. Up here, perhaps in the header, we could put the sheet name. And once we do that, so as you can see with the header and footer, there's three sections. There's the left, there's the center, and then there's the right, and same with the footer. And you can get to the footer by clicking on the header and selecting Go to the Footer. Same thing, you got the date, whatever text you want here, and whatever you want to put to the right here. So we're going to go to the Normal View, and notice that we don't see the headers and footers in the Normal View, but they will print out. You can see them in the Page Layout View. We can also change the name of this sheet here. We can call this, there we go. When we go to print it out though, that will print out. When you're finished creating your worksheets in your workbook, you may want to print them out. Printing in Excel is very easy. Excel makes it that way. To print out workbooks and worksheets, click the File tab to get to the Backstage area. So we click here, and then we select Print. And then we have several print options, including choosing the printer that we want to use, the number of copies. It asks us, do we want to print the active worksheets? And then there's, of course, page orientation, what size letter, and other typical options for printing, including if you want to indicate specific pages that you want to print. But our workbook only contains one worksheet, so it's one page. This is how it's going to look here to the right. You can see that this is what we added to our footers down here, and this is what we added to the headers up here. And if you like everything we've done here, we just click the Print button, and it will send it to the printer of our choice. The right bottom button here is the Zoom button. So you can zoom in, zoom out. This icon here does the margins. So we're showing the margins right now. You can change the margins in this area as well. It may be easier for you to change the margins here if you want to eyeball much of this information. However, you can also change your margins here under Custom Margin Set, and we can reset that back to normal. Narrow margins, you can select custom margins here. You can also change different types of margins here as well. If you really mess this all up, just go back and do normal and then restart from there. Also, your headers and footers margins can be changed under the header and footer area. This is what they look like right now. Under the sheet area, here you could select whether or not you want the Excel grid lines to print, whether or not you only want to print in black and white, whether you want to do draft quality, whether or not you want to also print the row and column headings, and you can change the page order. So here you can change portrait and landscape. So clearly under the page setup, there are a lot of options for you to set the margins of the worksheets as well as the headers and footers to make it work exactly the way you want it to work for your intended audience. Again, to print everything you want to print, you would just click the print button.